Welcome in, beautiful souls. If you're new here, my name is Jane, and if you're returning, I'm so glad to have you back. I was guided to bring this message today, and I'm going to do a little bit different. So I'm going to pull from this dragon deck, and it is only about the major arcanas. So the major arcanas are about our major shifts in life, major things that are going to happen, like the big things. So I'm going to do a 3-card pull with this deck here. I'm going to shuffle a little bit here. So the first one is going to be the card, the card on the left will be of the past. The card in the middle will be the present. And the card on the right will be the future. So we're going to pull a few cards out, and then I'm going to begin this reading. They had me bring out a bunch of different decks that I haven't used in a really long time, and 2 brand new decks that I haven't used in a reading at all. So we're going to start. This should be interesting, I think. You know, what started this reading? Okay, they're telling me they don't want this reading to do with... Because I received a download, and okay, so I'm not going to... That's not about this one. Okay, so... All right, I think it's time here. Past. Present. Future. Temperance is on the bottom. Within the dragon's breath, temperance, blended harmony, amidst flames, her moderation, tempered fires, balancing passions, and guiding souls through trials of purification. Yep. Okay. So I'm just going to pull these all out and see where we are. So there's the past, the devil, or the death. Yep. The death. The present is the Empress. Wow, Spirit. The Hermit. Well, that's interesting. This is very interesting. So we have the death, which is like a rebirth. So you know, your past, you've gone through a rebirth here. So like you see this tree on fire here. So you've walked through the fire of, you know, this might have something to do with that last reading I just did, because it talked about a completion of karmic cycles. Okay, so we have embracing the dragon's breath, death, transformation, ignite it, new beginnings, amidst the inferno, endings yielding rebirth, ushering souls through cycles of fiery renewal. So I think this really does have a lot to do with that last reading. Okay, so, and then we have the Empress here. So or Emperor, because, you know, yeah, because with this deck here, it's a new deck. It's, what is it called? It's an astrology deck. And then this one is my dragon deck. And the astrology deck came out the Empress. And then this deck showed me the Emperor when I was doing a shuffling, and it split open. It also showed me the Shaman. And the Shaman is the magician. So I was just like, oh, this should be interesting reading. And then we have, so the Empress is the dragon's breath nurtured life with fiery passion. The Empress embraced its warmth, nurturing growth and vitality amidst the flames, transformative power. You know, and here they have like the flames of the death. Okay, so then we have the Hermit is seeking wisdom in the dragon's breath. The Hermit found enlightenment amidst its flames. In solitude, he discovered inner strength, navigating through the inferno trials. Wow. So I believe that you still have some more to, you still have some more, you're still seeking more wisdom. Okay, so we're going to do it this way here. I'm going to have it so, because we're going to do it so this is the past, the present, and the future here. Okay, I just heard them say separate them more. Okay, So they're going to have, this is a new deck. I haven't used this before. This is a gypsy deck. So I'm going to pull out, I wasn't really sure how to read it, but I'm going to go with like the past. I'm going to stick in that. I'm going to do the past, the present, and the future here. Okay. So it didn't come with a book for this deck either, so I wasn't really sure how to read them. I mean, I kind of played with them and I put my energy into them, but so we have past, present, and now future. It's on the bottom. Some money, economical practice, some greedy. The partner does not dare to take an important step. I think that's how you have to read it. Like, it depends on what you're looking for. So if you're looking for like the heart, for that. If you're looking about money, it gives you the answers for that. So it gives you like, I think that's where like you would have to personally ask a question. Okay, so the rebirth house. I was looking at this stone house here in the background too. So house. So family, everyday, inner world, returning home. See the swan is alone too. So you could be getting a new home. Let's see what the present is. Gift. You're going to be gifted something. Receive something, not necessarily material. So because this is a reading of, it's a tarot reading, right? So, I'm going to assume, and I believe this is all about your spiritual awakening. This is about your spiritual path. So I believe that you could be unlocking a gift, a spiritual gift. So this could be, something economical too, because it did bring up about the money. So this could have been something in your past here, because it does talk about no more quarrels or trifles. So where, this has been a rebirth, like you could have come from this kind of energy. You could have had a lot of conflict and stuff like that. And now here you're in the present, receiving something not necessarily material, a pleasant and polite person to communicate with. Okay, so that's the present. And the hermit, this is the future. What's this one? Death. So you have death twice here. So you could be meeting somebody, because it says here a fateful, which, fate, it's like destiny, right? So an energetic person who changes destinies. The end of old relationships and starting new. The completion of anything, both good and bad. Okay, because this is basically like, we're constantly going through cycles, right? Now, I just did a reading that talked about dealing with all the old karmic cycles, and it started with needing to complete, like needing to come to some kind of completion, that something had to be wrapped up, like to close the loop. So if you've gone through already a karmic cycle, there, and because we go through so many, because life is all about changes, right? So we're constantly going through these karmic cycles. So the path you've done this death, like this, you've finished that cycle, you've left that, You're in your Empress cycle. But see, this is good though, because this means like you've left all this like old energy behind, right? And now, yes, you could be alone because you've left this all behind. But you stepped into your power, because they showed me the Magician. So because you stepped into your power, your Emperor or your Empress energy, you've stepped into that now. You're now going to be gifted. So you're going to have, but it does say like a pleasant and polite person. This is like where you are currently. But your future here is, you could be going back into a hermit, or maybe you haven't gone enough into your hermit stage. Right? So, and it does talk about the end of old relationships and starting new. So you're, whatever's in your present right now, I think you're going to be like coming out, you're going to be, whether that's a good relationship or a bad one, it doesn't matter. It's saying here that there's going to be a completion of anything, both good and bad. So you're also ending another cycle here for the future, like, because you're in the present. I mean, future could be next week, you know what I mean? Or next month. Now, also that can change too, because, though these cards can predict the future, it also depends on the choices that we make. You know what I mean? So usually it runs like a month to 3 month cycle it can be. So, like when we make all those decisions within that time frame, it can change our destined path. But they're saying here that there's going to be another end to another cycle. So whatever you're currently in, it's going to push you back into another hermit phase, because I think that you're just going to keep looking for your spiritual wisdom. Okay. Okay, so I have a new guide, so I'm a little like, I just need a little bit of time to ground my energy to know where she wants me, or he. I said she. Now, last time I was saying he, but I was actually calling she, but I do know it was a male. But see, that's the thing too. That's the thing I mentioned in the last reading. Like every time you leave one, every time you go through another spiritual awakening, you level up, or you have a glow up of any kind, even if small or large, it doesn't matter. You will receive a new guide to help you. I mean, sometimes the guides overlap. If you haven't like completely finished closing a loop or a completion, you'll have that guide that you received previously, but then you'll also have, the new guide stepping in. So the two of them will work together to get you further onto your path, or, into your healing, or whatever that you're trying to accomplish, or whatever they're trying to help lead you to. So what do you want, Spirit, here? This one. Okay. I keep going back and forth with these two decks. So I'm going to pull these both out here. Look, growth. 2, 3, 4. You're experiencing growth and expansion in all areas of your life. You are on the right path and moving towards greater fulfillment and success. Okay. And not all movement is going to be easy. You know what I mean? Like you could be, you could be happy in your situation. You could be happy with the people in your life. You could be happy, with how things are going. But the thing is, like, once you've learned all the lessons you have learned in that cycle, it's time to move on. Stability, 444, angels are guiding and supporting you, providing a stable foundation for success. Just like I was talking about with the guides. They're only there to lead you to your full purpose. Take a step. Well, let go of old beliefs and patterns that no longer serve you. Prepare to step out of your comfort zone in order to grow and expand. So that's what's going to happen. It's going to bring a renewal. You are experiencing renewal and fresh beginnings. Release the past and embrace the opportunities for growth and transformation ahead. Yeah, just like I was talking about, like this is what's going to happen here. Okay. So I'm going to move these down here. Okay, so I'm going to bring out some of these astrology cards here. So what do you want to go with? The square, the challenge. Yeah. So that goes with the death here. So this is all about the sounds of alarm, frustrations, demands, struggles, hurts. That's what you've come from, this death. Okay, so the current, the Empress. What do you want for the Empress here? Empress or Emperor. The 11th house, no joke, on the edge. Yeah, because you're in the present, and the present can change at any moment, right? So this is about friendship, creativity, community, humanity, common goals, the future. The 11th house is about the future, and then you have right here, which is the future. So you have, they're talking about your future again. You're going to be leaving this. Like I said, it can be good, or it can be, but it's time to move on. So you're going to have another cycle here. So what's for the Hermit? The renewal. The third house. It's your perception. This is how you're going to deal with it. This is about your all your thoughts and your speech. This could have something to do with, because they brought up the home and your family. This could have a lot to do with like siblings or any kind of family situation. I mean, you could even be like, with somebody new, because they were talking about here in the present about you might find a pleasant person to communicate with. That could, because then it comes over here and it says a fateful, energetic person who changes your destiny. So this could be somebody new coming in that can change and put you into, you know what I mean? This communication, because the third house is all about your communication, right? It's about how you, dating and, being sociable, and it's about your surroundings and all that. So, yeah, then on the bottom is wisdom, and the Hermit is all about wisdom too. And Saturn's all about time too. It's all about the timing. It's about tests, about going through the tests of life. So this is just coming into a new cycle here. Okay. So you're going to be, okay, so what else do you want here, Spirit? Okay, they're going to have me bring out one of these each. Celestial guidance. Look at that. You have celestial guidance yet again. And, this is what the 444 is. To receive profound insight and messages from the stars or guidance. Astrological insight. I never noticed that before. Star wisdom. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so what do you want for the past? Jeez. Spiritual journey. Hearts of the cosmos. This is all to bring you growth here. In the heart of the cosmos, yeah. It could have been a very heartbreaking experience to go through. Death and rebirth is not always an easy thing, like it creates these cracks in the heart, you know what I mean? Cracks the heart open, I heard. But it's what's to put you back onto your journey. Yeah, look, in the Empress, so you've been doing a lot of shadow work that's brought you into your Empress. This is the present. You've explored your the self-discovery. That's brought you all this deep healing. It's put you on this path. Yes, of self-acceptance. Exactly, Spirit. You did the shadow work. That's what brings you into your Empress, is accepting everything. So you could be just on the edge of this self-acceptance. Once you're completely done that, you're going to have, or this could be like what's going on currently, like this, because this is your present, right? So once you complete this self-acceptance of yourself and all your self-compassion and your forgiveness, when all that, that cycle, that loop is completed, you're going to be spun into this over here, into the future. And this is what the future holds. It's going to take you from, like, you're going to receive a gift, though. Yeah, okay. So this, because the Hermit, too, is where you find a lot of inner peace. So you're going to find more inner peace here. Tranquil stability and serenity. Yeah. Okay. What else do you want to go over here? The inner peace. Yeah, so this is where you have to, this is the cycle that you need to maintain your peace. Don't allow anyone to disrupt your peace. Hold your boundaries, you know what I mean? That's what the Empress or the Emperor is. It's holding your peace, confidence and courage, yeah. And like I said, you could be doing it alone. Like this is like an inner thing. This is like nobody else can help you do this. This is something you have to do on your own. This is like a journey of self. Yeah, a little guidance you have guidance from the universe, though. You see how they have these planets lined up? This, I do believe this has to do with the last reading I did, because I talked about how with the equinox that came in March 20th for the spring equinox, it's where the planets all line up. It's where the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon all line up in a straight line. And there's a lot of planets that are lining up in this new, I think April is going to be like wicked lineups too. Universal wisdom and cosmic connection. Yeah. Okay. All right, Spirit. Okay, they're going to have me bring out one of these. Okay, one of each of these here. Yeah, see on the bottom here, someone has unmet needs. That's why this rebirth came in. Once your needs start becoming unmet, then that cycle is done. What's this? It's for your higher good. Yes, Spirit, it is. Yeah. It's for your higher good. This is something that your soul has planned before you come here. Yeah, look, and I was talking about how you got to maintain your boundaries here. But here's overstepped boundaries. And then here, this one is trust the universe. So when this happens, trust the universe. And then on the bottom, it's destined soul ties. Yeah, I think you might have somebody new coming in that's going to change because it's fate, right? So you need to trust whatever happens. So when you are propelled out of this present energy here, but this is why, like the all the shadow work and the self-acceptance, that's what puts you into an Empress or an Emperor position. So you can't let anybody overstep their boundaries. You have to always hold those boundaries. Okay, so we're going to pull out a couple of these. I'm going to pull out some tarot cards here and see if that gives us any more information. these 4 cards fell out. So the advice is just be, balance, inspiration, and transition. So that's what's going to happen is they're going to transition you. You've already transitioned out of the past here, which is, just be and balance. So you brought this balance here to come here. Inspiration and then the transition. You want one more card here. Okay, one more. What's this? The actions on the bottom. Okay, what else do you want here, Spirit? Love. And then the 5th chakra, throat. This does have something to do with that last reading because they spoke about, it was about communication. And I guess, and the 3rd house here is about communication too, which has to do. So, use your voice in a loving way for communication. Yeah, I noticed that this card here is the numbers are in blue too. You are experiencing renewal and fresh beginnings. Release the past and embrace the opportunities for growth and transformation ahead. This is staying in that love. Trust the universe here. Yeah, look, and trust your intuition here, your inner voice. Okay. Let's pull out a few tarot cards here. All right. 2 of Swords. Yeah, this is all this past energy, the decision making. Look at this, and it came out with the Hierophant. Yeah, this is all the energy to bring you into. This is the teacher and the student. This is all the learning that you've gone through. Because here, like you were doing all your shadow work, that's all that learning. And then here is all the acceptance. You know what I mean? That's where you become like the teacher here. Help you grow and expand the transition. Yeah. Okay, so one for here, Spirit. I don't know why you're flipping them out. The Ace of Cups. Wow. The Ace of Cups is all about new connections, positive outcomes, romance, new friends, awakening the heart. It's awakening of the heart with the love here too. Yeah, you know what? And then it also talked about you have somebody coming in it's fated. They're gonna change your destiny or something here. They're gonna help put you on to your destined path. Look, and then I was talking about the shaman card earlier, and here we have the shaman on the bottom, and the shaman is about mastering everything, mastering all the elements. Wow, Spirit. Yeah. And right behind that, it is the 9 of Swords, where all the pain and stuff you've come through. You've come through all that. And the 10 of Swords, all that stabbing in the back. So this is, the 10 of Swords is like dealing with this old energy. That's why you were, they had to balance. That's why it was, you were kicked out of this energy here, this death rebirth thing, because of all these individuals that you had, like, even family members even could have been stabbing you in the back. And then it's bringing you, you have the 9 of Swords. This is all that healing and all being up all night and upset about everything. But you've come into your power. And here they have the Ace of Cups, because I wanted to have clarifiers. I just didn't think they were going to bring them out this way. But, you have the shaman here. This is where you've mastered all of this. You've mastered and come into your, so this is your future here. This is what your future holds. You're going to master all of this. Wow, that's amazing, Spirit. Is there anything else? Nope, that's it. Okay, so that's the end of this reading. Well, that's pretty cool. So your past, your present, and your future. Okay, so I'm going to close this reading, and I hope this video finds you well. I hope it's been enlightening, and yeah, I'm going to bid you a good day, and I'm going to send you all my love and light. Bye, everyone.